Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Extreme Tarot, where we do moon readings, pick a cards, and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a zodiac reading for the sign of Gemini, a look into what's going on in your no contact love situation. It's basically like a messages from your person reading. I'm going to do a bunch of messages and then clarify them with tarot, but first we're going to get some oracles to check in on your overall vibe and the connection, like how your person's feeling towards you. So what is pile one? What is Gemini's person overall feeling towards Gemini right now? I saw friendship, but let's see what comes. Oh, freedom. It says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Okay, I just want to put this like here, I guess. Let's get one of these. Energy oracles. I'm just gonna get like 4 oracle cards. Oh, also, what was the song that I got for you? I shuffled before I forget. It was Wild Horses by the Sundays. So we'll get into that in a sec. But weird, because horses are associated with freedom. That's what made me just think of it, actually. So we have this like freedom. I don't know. Anyway, but okay, let's see. What is Gemini's person overall feeling for Gemini? We have broken heart. Okay. Let me just get, oh, we already got this one. Oh, let's get this. What did I do with my Moonology deck? Oh, there it is. We have the rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. Also, it's like the year of the rabbit. Like the Chinese New Year. Hold on. Which I'm a rabbit. Holla. Just kidding. Okay. And Moonology. And how is Gemini's person overall feeling for Gemini? The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. A little bit of your own energies spitting back at you. All right. And then you are good enough. So I feel like your person is a little bit, they're kind of like all over the place. Like I feel like with the freedom card, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. I think that they're maybe somebody that has always like valued their freedom. That was like very important to them to kind of be free. But I think like the way they're defining freedom is changing, where they're realizing like they can like what's the word? They're kind of like, yeah, like they're redefining the word freedom to them and like realizing that like maybe, for example, like, because we see a lot of commitment issues on the channel. So maybe like, again, that's something that they always thought was something that they wanted, like just like freedom from relationships, freedom from commitment. That meant like the ultimate freedom to them, like they were happy. But then it's like, maybe now they're realizing that, I'm having a tough time speaking. They're realizing that their idea of freedom maybe could include a relationship, because maybe they've always looked at relationships as like stifling or like kind of like a wet blanket, but maybe they feel like with you it would be different. It would be like kind of like something that would keep them like bound, chained. But maybe like they've recently been thinking about your connection a little bit, especially the way you communicate, because we have this Gemini energy here. And maybe they're realizing that like being with you is like being with their best friend. It's like, you know, when they hang out with their friends and they're just talking and it's fun and it's happy, like, you know, and they're like, oh, so like maybe I wouldn't feel that like caged in feeling. Maybe they're almost feeling it without you in their life, you know, because then we have that Wild Horses, like that song, which is like a cover of like that Rolling Stone song. But Wild Horses couldn't tear me away, like, is basically like the vibe of that song. Kind of like a bittersweet energy. And how does it go? Like, where it's like, the tears must be cried, let's do some living. Like, you know, like, it's just, I feel like they want to like almost like live again, like where they're, we have this broken heart energy though, although this does seem to me almost like a healing kind of a broken heart. What was on the bottom of the deck? Attachment. Where maybe they realized like their tough stance on commitment was stemming from a place of like fear, of like inauthenticity, or maybe they're realizing like that like inside things were changing where they were maybe wanting to explore a more like caring connection with you or whatever it is, but like they were like stuck, they were like chained to their mentality that like they didn't want that. And it's like they're kind of just like in flux right now, kind of like reassessing like their opinions of different things. That's what I would say. So let's start with that. We have now is the lucky time, rabbit spirit. So I feel like there's like a sense of excitement and almost like feeling like things could work out, but then I think that's also like scary to them. And then we have this, the answers you need are coming. So maybe you're waiting to hear from them or something like that, or just get some sort of final answer on this connection, like what it's been confusing you for a long time. So I think spirit is saying like things will start making sense soon. Now is a lucky time, like things are shifting. It's like kind of like Wheel of Fortune energy for me. So it's like the tide is turning kind of a thing. So what would they want to say to you? You're so creative. What would Gemini's person want to say to Gemini? It's obviously way too many. What would they want to communicate to Gemini? I know I have to save myself. You can't do it for me. Okay. I'm trying to keep my grip on reality, but I don't even know what that is anymore. Exactly. Like that's what I was kind of picking up on, like something at their core. Sorry, that was like a piece of sage. Something at their core is like shifting. Like I was saying, it's like in flux, like where they're kind of like, they're redefining, like, I guess who they are, but like more so like what they want. Like, I think they're like realizing that they changed, or they probably not like just now, but maybe like it's something that's kind of been happening for a while, and they're finally like admitting it to themselves, or they've seen some sort of evidence, and it just feels weird and like, who am I? Like kind of a thing. I miss you. Almost like the end of an era. We have this 9 energy here. I am so sorry. Okay. And then look, I'm ashamed of the way I've treated you. So, and also, oh, well, I guess let's just get the cards, but I'm afraid I'm going to forget that. I can't wait to make this all up to you one day. I feel like now that they're maybe like having these shifts where they're realizing almost like being with you does constitute some sort of a freedom. Whereas like they just feel happy and free. Like I'm thinking of that song by Elton John, The One, where he's like, all I ever needed was the one, like freedom fields where wild horses run. Yeah, that wild horse kind of an energy. But it's like you're free together, you know, kind of a thing. Like I think, but when they were in their like kind of like other mentality that I think became sort of a routine, and like I said, they were kind of chained to it, I think that they maybe acted accordingly, and maybe now that they're kind of in flux and changing how they're feeling, maybe they're realizing they're thinking about the way they've maybe been towards you, and sort of like feeling maybe a little bit guilty with the broken heart. Maybe, I don't know about guilty, but they're just kind of, I mean, yeah, I'm so sorry. I can't wait to make this all up to you. That makes me think that they have some regrets about like what has gone down in the past. But this card, I'm starting to understand why things had to happen the way they did. So I feel like there is that, we got an extra one. I'm just going to put it like in the middle. You have such a unique perspective, and I've never felt so much pain yet so much love at the same time. Okay, so that's what and then we have the whole package on the bottom of the deck. But yeah, that song, The One, it's like when stars collide, like you and I, no shadows block the sun. Like it's just, maybe they're just like realizing that it just feels right with you. Hey, Leo. Leo's like, yeah, about time. I'm just kidding. something like that. But yeah, you're so creative. I know I have to save myself. You can't do it for me. That makes me think that like they know you'd have some ideas. They know that you could help them or something. And like with the answers you need are coming, it's like maybe they feel like they need to shift something in their own life. Like they need to like, because maybe like they weren't planning on having this shift of feeling like they wanted to like change things in such a big way like in their life. So like now that like they're almost feeling like, oh shit, like I should have been working towards this, like I should have been planning this out better. But it's like, you know, so they would maybe like for example be more financially ready for like some sort of commitment. Like that's one example. But or even if like I'm trying to think of another example. I mean, I guess that's a good one, but where it's like maybe now they're trying to shift some other things in their life to sort of like make this more possible. But at the same time, I think they are just dealing with the effects of like being in flux and wanting different things. I think is very kind of scary to them. But yeah, I think that they're definitely acknowledging that you could help them, but it's almost like I think that they want to figure things out themselves or something like that. So let's clarify. You have such a unique perspective, because I don't really know what that's about. What does Gemini's person mean by that? Oh, judgment. All right, maybe they just really respect, and here we go like with that whole freedom energy, because it's like I think that they really respect your opinion and your perspective. I think they like enjoy talking to you, I would say, because it's like touching this Gemini card right here as well. I think that, you know how like in some relationships there's like a power struggle. It's like very combative, like someone's always mad, like, you know, people have trust issues. Like we've all, even like maybe you've been guilty of that, where you're kind of making somebody else pay for like a new person pay for like a past person's mistakes, and like all these fights come up. It's like I feel like they think that things wouldn't be like that with you. Like I'm getting like a very harmonious vibe. Like I'm getting like a non-judgmental vibe. Like almost they appreciate your perspective is sort of like one of the things that they like most about you. And that, I mean, we have like the parents here with like a child. So again, maybe like they could see having kids with you, or maybe like if you do already have kids, they like the way that you like parent your kids, like, and they could see like building a life with you like that, because they're like, oh, I like the way they kind of like handle like their life. Even if it's not kids, it could just be like other like, you know, responsibility kinds of things. But yeah, I feel like that's what I'm getting from that, just that they appreciate your perspective. They like the way that you sort of like move through the world, I would say, and the way that you handle yourself. And like even if they don't like agree with everything that you say necessarily, they like respect your opinion and like where it's coming from. And they like enjoy talking to you, because it is touching this Gemini card, and I'm kind of getting that. Let's look at I'm so sorry. What? Oh, something flipped. The 9 of Cups. So I am so sorry. It's like maybe they feel like if you guys did get in like an argument or something like that, it seems like even just like some push and pull like going on in your connection. But with the 9 of Cups and I'm so sorry, it's like I think they're realizing too that like with the 9 of Cups, yeah, it's like a wish fulfillment, but it's also, Kiki, please get down. Honey, I love you. Get down. It's also like it's like they feel that sense of like satisfaction and like fulfillment when they're around you, and they're like, maybe you tried to like tell them that, or tried to like communicate that to them, like, hey, like, I feel like we got something good going on here, like, you know, what's really good? And they're just like, nah, like, you know, or whatever the case. They kind of like didn't see the value in it at the time, but I think now they kind of are. They're realizing like the amount of satisfaction that you do give them, just like on an emotional level. Like they just feel good when they're with you. It's like the 9 of Cups is a very like like, you know, like, and also it's like an independent energy because it's a number 9. So I feel like maybe they're like thinking about this while they're on their own. Oh, this is a 9 too. Like they're thinking I feel like they're doing a lot of thinking on this connection with the broken heart energy. Like they're, even if they're not like crying, maybe they're thinking about like, but it says that they are feeling a lot of pain right now, even if they're not actually shedding tears, like doesn't matter. But like they're looking back, I think, on things in the past, and like from this new perspective that they're kind of coming into, and like I think having like kind of just settling it all, like, you know, reconciling it all, like seeing things maybe from your perspective, and just maybe realizing not that you were right, but that there is definitely truth in what you were like trying to communicate to them, like, or trying to show them that, like, you know, you guys really do just like sort of like naturally like fulfill and satisfy each other, like on lots of different levels, like on a mental level here and an emotional level with the 9 of Cups. I'm trying to see what else I would even maybe on they think sexually because they're like rabbit. I think about like, you know, getting it on. But let's see what else. I know I have to save myself. You can't do it for me. That fell on the floor. We have the Queen of Swords. And then, what's this? The Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I think that they see you as being more like established than them somehow. I also think that they know that they have caused you pain. I think this broken heart is like referring to your broken heart in a way, even if it's like causing them to sort of feel that way now, like, you know, feel like, you know, so much pain. But I feel like they're like kind of referencing like whatever has gone on in the past, like a lot here. I think they're looking at it from like a different, something has kind of changed their perspective, like I was saying. So they're kind of like looking back on the past through this filter, like with these new eyes of like, oh, what was that? Honey, get down from there. They're kind of, yeah, like they're kind of looking at this from like that new perspective. I feel like they feel that you're a very strong person. Almost like maybe you're like even like protective over them, and like almost like I was saying, like you would have the answers, but also that with the Queen of Swords, that because we had the Page of Pentacles on like the bottom of the deck, so it's almost like they have to sort of like rise up to meet you in that like King of Swords energy. Like they can't be coming through as a Page of Pentacles. They feel they have to like figure things out for themselves, even though I think that they know that you could help them. Like, for example, like with the Queen of Swords, someone very smart and intelligent. So I think they're valuing your intellect and things like that. And even if it's not like that you could figure things out for them, I think that they also think that they could just kind of like curl up with you and just feel like almost not be motivated to fix things in their life because they could just kind of like get swept up in like an emotional like tailspin with you. So like with the Queen of Swords, that kind of makes me think that they have to like sort of keep a boundary up against you right now so they can kind of figure things out on their own without your influence. Not that you would influence them like wrong or bad, or like they think you would intentionally like try to like lead them astray or anything like that, but just like the influence of like their feelings for you is maybe a better way to put it, like where they would just get caught up in it and not be able to not really have the motivation anymore to sort of fix things. And I think they want to. How about, I'm starting to understand why things had to happen this way, or the way they did, it says. Oh, that's 2. Maybe the Emperor and Temperance. I guess we'll just keep them. I'll put them like right here. But again, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. What was that? Those in Strength. We have a lot of like major arcana. And then, okay, so with Temperance and the Emperor, it's like I think they're recognizing that it's going to take time for them to sort of feel, to sort of build up things the way they want to in their life, maybe in a financial way. With the Emperor just makes me think of that. But at the same time with Temperance, and I'm starting to understand why things had to happen the way they did, I think they really are like seeing almost like I almost wanted to say symmetry, but just like the pattern, or like they're seeing like the beauty of the way that things have like worked out, where maybe, yes, they want to make this all up to you. They're sorry. They feel like they maybe did some stuff in the past that they're not proud of, or whatever the case is, you know, between you guys. They're also realizing like if they would have just because maybe they did have feelings for you all along, but like they just like their main idea of like they wanted to stay free was sort of like overriding whatever feelings that they did have for you, kind of a thing. So they're seeing how like if they would have just sort of like entered into like a connection with you back then, even if they like their need for freedom didn't override it and they just kind of like jumped into it like, oh, whatever, give it a try, like things maybe would have went badly. Like they wouldn't be the same person that they are today, and like they wouldn't be able to sort of like establish something real with you, if that makes sense. So they're like almost seeing the wisdom, and I think that is helping them. That's why like with this broken heart, I think that I am getting that sense of healing, like more so. Like the pain, I've never felt so much pain yet so much love. Like that's like exactly the vibe I'm getting from this card, like where they recognize the need for the pain, and how it has like shaped like the way, like the person they've become, and like the way they're feeling for you now. Oh, you're so creative. The Five of Wands. Five of Wands. Maybe they feel like, okay, I'm just gonna put that there, even if it's not even. I'm so sorry. You're so creative. And the Five of Wands. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. I'm so sorry. Ooh. I'm getting like cotton mouth or something. Not cotton mouth, but my throat was like hurting. You're so creative. Yeah, like I feel like they just, I don't really know what I'm getting from that. I almost want to get a second one. I saw the Magician in reverse. Okay, I just think that they're like maybe like looking at you and like comparing themselves. Yeah, like that's what it's about. Like the Five of Wands is about like competition, kind of. A lot of times it can mean like romantic competition. That's why I was getting confused, because I didn't see how that was like relevant, unless like, you know, maybe you're creative and kind of figured out a way to like get them going by like showing them that there's competition. I mean, that could be a thing, I guess. But I'm more so getting that they're like comparing your energies in life, like what you've managed to like build for yourself is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Like maybe they feel like you're more of a go-getter than they are, but like it's like making them want to be that way. Like with the whole like Wheel of Fortune energy that I was picking up on, kind of, it's like I think they want to like meet you on your level. That's kind of like this top layer that I'm getting. Like, I have to save myself. You can't do it for me. Like, I know that you could help me, but you shouldn't have to help me. Like, I want to like figure it out on my own. And it's true, because like when you've had like a lot of, you have to get yourself out of like sticky situations. Like say they've kind of been slacking, or they've been doing something to sort of like, you know, kind of keep their life in a more stagnant energy, whatever that was. Like when they have to like figure out how to like get out of that situation, or change that situation, or start moving that situation, like it is gonna give them certain skills. They're gonna get like glean certain knowledge and like things like that from these experiences, and that's very important for them. Whether they're actually thinking that like in their head like that, or their spirit guides are just like guiding them in that way because like they know, you know, like it's like that's what's going on. I feel like they need to like figure this out on their own. Um, Even if it's just like they want to just like make things up to you, like, and they're having a tough time like figuring out how to do that, like they got to figure it out on their own. Like you can't do it for them. And I think that's also a little reminder from spirit for you. So even if you feel like, oh, I could just help them, like it's yes, you could, but that's not your job. Like put the focus back on you. You know, like you're clearly in a pretty positive energy, it looks like here, like at least from your person's perspective. So continue to build on what you've already built for yourself, because it is motivating your person. I miss you. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but we have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like they wish that they could sort of like be around you right now. I feel like they wish that they could sort of do sweet things for you, the way he's handing her that flower. I feel like they really almost, with the Queen of Swords too being here, maybe they feel like they want to like lighten your load. Like they want to like, because even this imagery here of like the two parents with the kid, it's like, you know, like it's like two partners like sharing those responsibilities, whether it's a kid or just responsibilities in life. Doesn't have to be children, you know, just like your day-to-day responsibilities. Like I feel like they want to help you with those. They want to help lighten your load. They want to do sweet things for you and just make you feel appreciated and like safe with them or something like that. I feel like they almost wish they could be doing that now, but it's like, again, like I think whatever else is going on here, I really feel like Spirit is sort of guiding them to sort of take a step back right now and figure out their own stuff. I can't wait to make this all up to you one day. Oh, fell on the floor. We got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. But again, it's like, now is not the time almost. Hold on. I'm sorry. Now is not the time almost. Like the Page of Pentacles is like a student, and like, it's almost like they can't take this time to like make things up to you because they have to sort of like get their own stuff together, like is how I'm taking this with the Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck. It's like I think they would love to just slide up in there in more ways than one, and maybe even like that's something that they want to like do for you, is like with like as far as like body stuff, like maybe they want to just like relax, like, you know, give you a little oomph to like relax you or something like that. Like maybe like you're very like I was saying, you have a lot of like responsibilities, like kind of like all work and no play kind of thing. So maybe they're just like wanting to bring in some fun for you, but at the same time, like it's gonna be one day. It just can't be right now because there's some like responsibility type things. There's some like practical matters that need to be attended to right now. Yeah, we had like the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there's something that needs to shift in their material world, because if they're feeling like that, like almost like their material world is like a mess. And then we had this You Are Good Enough here, this Virgo energy, it is going to affect their way that they feel about themselves and their own value. Even if, you know, you're going to sit here and be like, oh, like, no, like, I think they're perfect just the way they are. Like, they need to feel that way too. They need to match you on that level. I wasn't even asking anything, but I was going to do it for this one. Should we just take it? I'm going to take it. But Nine of Wands, I'm trying to keep my grip on reality, but I don't even know what that is anymore. Again, I feel like they know that they could go to you for some comfort. See the way she's like kind of rubbing his chest and just like whatever. It's like, I think they do feel, it's interesting. I'm looking at this. These two are almost like a very similar energy. They're also two nines. It's like the same kind of thing. Like there's two couples, but here they're fighting and here they're like comforting each other. I feel like they like misjudged you and they feel bad about that or something. Like they maybe thought things between you would be more like combative, or like maybe they thought you would be more like give them a hard time for their mistakes, and like maybe now they're like maybe like they're realizing that like no, like you would never be like that, like you really just genuinely care about them, and that's why they feel sorry. Because like, but I mean, maybe their perspective, like they weren't able to see things in a clear way, but again, that's why this all happened, and now they are starting to understand and like have this new feeling towards you, like this new perspective towards you, I should say, not feelings. I've never felt so much pain yet so much love at the same time. Knight of Wands. And right, it's like they've never felt so much pain yet so much love. Like it's a very intense sort of a feeling. It's like, I think again, like with the Knight, it kind of like, it's not the King or like the Queen, it's like a Knight. It's almost like they're in transit, like their life is moving forward, like or it needs to move forward. It's like they're motivated to move forward. I think the pain of like not being able to be with you, even though they do care about you so much, is sort of motivating them to like move forward in their own life here. But like I'm thinking of like the harvest time, like this wheat is not ready to be picked yet, like almost like it needs time to like flourish. Like so like harvest season is good for everybody involved here, like, you know, like otherwise you're going to be getting some half-ass wheat and you won't be able to make your porridge like as good. Just kidding. So yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much all I have for you. I think your person really is having like a poignant, I just want to say, I don't even know what that word means, poignant, like it's like kind of hitting them deep, like with like a sharp jab or something like that, like poignant, like it's hitting them in the heart. I'm kind of getting like a moment where they're like feeling something very acutely, I guess is how I would think that what I would guess that word means, kind of. And they're really sort of like looking back on a lot of things and feeling very strongly towards you. So all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one, okay? Bye.